Bloody hell, mate, we have got a busy news video today. Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. I don't know what part of the world we started this video in, but we are here in the GBFC office. There's the light. And you guys, if you enjoy yourselves here, please do smack a like on this video. We have got an absolute jam-packed train today, full of Chelsea news, and as well as that, I'm creeping ever closer to the mighty number of 300,000 subscribers. And I would absolutely love to hit that number before I go to the United States of America next month for Chelsea's pre-season tour. So, we have got breaking news. We have got personal terms, potentially, that have been agreed with a phenomenal footballer. And as a result of the Benjamin Sesko news today, does this mean that Chelsea are now on the hunt, on the prowl, to steal Julian Alvarez from Manchester City? But we begin with the news about Benjamin Sesko. Fabrizio Romano uploaded a YouTube video about 3 hours prior to me uploading this one. I've been chilling on the beach, having a good time, but I did try to get this out as soon as I could. Sesko has decided that he wants to sign a new deal at Red Bull Leipzig to obviously increase his pay. He thinks it is the best move for the next stage of his career. Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea were the three Premier League clubs that were looking to trigger that release clause for Sesko. And as well as that, there were two clubs in Saudi Arabia offering him a whopping 30 million euros net per season to move to Saudi Arabia. Look, Sesko, England are going to be facing Sesko in the Euros. He's Slovenian, he's going to the Euros, and he wanted his future to be decided prior to the Euros. And to be quite honest, as much as we might look at RB Leipzig and we might think, well, a move to the Premier League for a player of that quality is probably the natural step up in his career, but I think there are a lot of players now that are looking at the Red Bull clubs and thinking, not only can I really develop myself as a player, there's also definitely leverage when it comes to earning more money. There's been so many good quality players that have gone through the networks in that multi-club model, from Salzburg, talking Erling Haaland here, Salzburg to Leipzig. And Sesko is in the right place, so he believes. So, as a result of that, Chelsea are no longer in the race. Neither is anybody else at this point in time, which means we must discuss here the alternatives to Benjamin Sesko, because we've been led to believe for the past couple of weeks or so that a move for Victor Osimhen in the summer transfer window was off the cards because his wages pretty ridiculous. Chelsea don't want to be breaking the bank there. 130 million euros is the price that Napoli want to sign him. There's also an injury record there. Those were the three main reasons why Chelsea kind of cooled their interest in Victor Osimhen. And over the course of the last week or so, you guys have seen my videos. You know how much I love Julian Alvarez. He's one of my favourite players in the Premier League. I think when it comes to the way that Chelsea will be playing football under Enzo Maresca, he likes his strikers to drop deep and then the wingers to kind of advance wide. If Alvarez is playing through the middle, then I think he would absolutely suit in a Maresca team, dropping deep, allowing them Palmer to advance, and Kunku, Madweki, or maybe another guy that we're going to get flipping talking about in a minute. I'm very excited in today's video. I'm not going to lie to you, because if Chelsea aren't going for Benjamin Sesko because he's staying at RB Leipzig, then for me, Julian Alvarez is now the guy. Like, for me personally, he's been the guy the whole time. The moment I even thought in my brain, hang on a minute, if Alvarez is wanting to maybe move, let's actually look at what Alvarez has said. Julian Alvarez on clubs keen on signing him this summer. I'm calm, I feel good, and I'm happy at Manchester City. Ellipsis, that's the key bit. And we will see what happens. Any footballer in the world, right, who isn't fully sold on staying at a club, it doesn't matter if English is or is not his primary first language, and we will see what happens, basically says, come and get me. I'm on the market, ladies and gentlemen. I want to move. That's how I'm taking this news. I'm reading this and I'm thinking, look, I think Alvarez is too good of a footballer to be playing second fiddle, even if it's second fiddle to Erling Haaland. You got Jeremy Doku there at Man City. Bernardo Silva, another guy that, just in case, if City are absolutely adamant they keep Alvarez, Bernardo Silva's on the market. I take him as well, you know. Quality footballers everywhere at Manchester City. They're born winners. But I think Alvarez absolutely suits an Enzo Maresca side. And I definitely think there is a world where now that he's obviously Benjamin Sesko will stay at Leipzig, he was a relatively cheap striker option, you know, 55 million euro release clause. In the modern world, for a player that's going to score you goals with a massive ceiling, I think this would have been an unbelievable deal. The latest regarding Chelsea, though, and Julian Alvarez is this. There is interest in Julian Alvarez, yes, but at the moment there is no direct contact by Chelsea. Nothing concrete to Manchester City or the agent of the player. The situation is open, but I can guarantee Manchester City will fight to keep hold of the player. I think now that we have seen the Sesko news, Chelsea, we know we want a striker during this window. Nicholas Jackson, look, I really like Jackson, but I think there's no world this summer where Chelsea aren't in the market to at least boost numbers in that area of the field. So, now that the Sesko news is set in stone, he's going to be staying at Leipzig, there's no way he's going to be leaving this summer, then I think now we're going to start to see the wheels turning. We're going to start to feel the cogs moving. Get the WD-40 out, spray it on there, and start those emails going. Get the mechanical keyboard out. If a good old classic Apple one don't do the trick, mate, do anything to get this player. Alvarez is absolutely world class. He's a brilliant finisher. He works hard for the team, can play all over the front line, and he's a winner. The man has won everything. He's unbelievable. I love him. I really want him at Chelsea Football Club. We move into the next story of the day, and this is almost as exciting as mechanical keyboards, ladies and gentlemen. This comes from Tactically Matt. Exclusive. Chelsea have now agreed personal terms with CPFC. It's Crystal Palace forward Michael Olise. Chelsea are now speaking to Palace regarding scheduling of payments for the release clause. Not done yet, but a big step forward for CFC, and Manchester United remain interested. Look, if this is true, then this is absolutely massive. I don't think there was ever going to be an issue with Michael Olise agreeing personal terms with Chelsea. I think the thing with Man United is this. I think if Man United are interested in the player and they work as quickly as Chelsea do, we know that Chelsea, when we want to get things done, we go. We are literally like a dog at your ankles when you've got a tennis ball at your feet, or a football, or any balls for that matter, at your feet. Weird one, that. But still, Chelsea move quick. Man United, they're currently discussing whether or not they want to keep Ten Hag, they want to sack Ten Hag. It's like they literally flip a battery and whatever, if it's positive, he stays and he goes. Like, they're a mess, Man United. They're an absolute mess. And I feel as though both Chelsea and Man United could really do with Michael Olise. But if personal terms are agreed, now Chelsea are trying to figure out the right way to pay this deal. This is massive. Look, we talk about Benjamin Sesko, we talk about strikers. Any transfer window that sees Chelsea bring in Michael Olise is a good transfer window. The guy is absolutely phenomenal. Our attack will absolutely level up immediately if, and I'm going to say now, if and when Olise comes through the door. He's also not going to the Euros with France, so he can come straight in and go straight into Enzo Maresca's training sessions when he starts to get the squad back from the summer holidays. I'm excited about this one. I think Olise is an absolutely phenomenal player, and if he's agreed personal terms with Chelsea, you should be smacking a like on this video now, because this is mega news. We move to discuss Levi Colwill, who is wanted by Bayern Munich. This is from Sky Sports News. Sky Germany reporting there's an agreement between Bayern Munich and Jonathan Tah for the defender to join from Bayer Leverkusen. Chelsea were apparently linked with Jonathan Tah, but it's always been Bayern Munich. Negotiations between the clubs expect to start soon, with Chelsea defender Levi Colwill an alternative if a move for Tah doesn't work out. Now, Fabrizio Romano says here, understand Chelsea position on Levi Colwill remains the same as last summer. No plans to sell him. If you remember back last year, Liverpool wanted him. Jurgen Klopp was desperate to have him. And then because he didn't get him, he decided he wanted to leave Liverpool. That's what quality players do to you when they reject you. Despite interest from... I'm joking. Despite interest from several top clubs, Colwill is again considered important part of CFC project and a key player for the future. Look, I think if you're talking about a possession-based team that builds from the back with the goalkeeper, Levi Colwill, this is exactly the manager that he will have wanted to come in. Pochettino, as much as we started to like Pochettino by the end of the season, having Levi Colwill as a left-back at the start of last year means that last season will go down as a disaster for Levi. He's a centre-back. He's a ball-playing centre-half who's brilliant on that left side of the back two or the back three, whatever it might be. And I think under Enzo Maresca, he will be so important. And it's almost going to feel, I think, like a new signing. When he was wasted at left back last season, then he was injured for the remainder of the second half of the season. Levi's going to feel like a new signing when he's played in the right places. So, Bayern Munich, you can politely piss off, mate. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to sell him. You're not getting him. Stick with Jonathan Tah, which is like, thank you. That was so bad. That was actually horrific. So we move again. We stay in Germany for now. Chelsea and Tottenham have in recent days made checks on the situation of Stuttgart winger Chris Führich. And I know, again, awful pronunciation, but I don't speak German. With offers expected for the player. This is from the Court Offside podcast, which is Fabrizio Romano. Now, look, we can talk all we want about the right-hand side of the midfield. And if it wasn't Olise, and we've talked about Esteval Willian a lot, if it wasn't a player of Michael Olise's ability at what is considered a really good price for a potentially world-class player, then I think you'd look at the right-hand side for Chelsea and be like, we should be looking on the left. There should be players that we're trying to buy on the left-hand side. And Führich is Chris Führich. I'm sure I've pronounced this atrociously. Can't even get English words out now. But he's a quality footballer. Had an amazing season. But again, I just kind of worry about Bundesliga to the Premier League. There's another guy who does really well in the Bundesliga. He came to the Premier League. I was desperate for him at Chelsea. Of course, I'm talking about Jadon Sancho here. 40 million. He's available from Man United for 40 million. Question for you guys in the comments down below. If you had a chance to bring Jadon Sancho to Chelsea or Chris Führich on the left-hand side of the attacking midfield, which one would you buy? Who would you prefer to have in your Chelsea team? Now, look, I'm not saying here I want Sancho. I do think this could be a really good signing if Chelsea are in the market for Chris Führich this summer. I'm actually going to move on simply because the pronunciation of his name is kind of doing my nutting and it's spinning my brain a little bit. Armando Broja is wanted by Wolfsburg's Ralph Hasenhüttl, who of course worked with Armando Broja whilst he was Southampton manager. Interesting. I just think we need to just be getting rid of Armando Broja now. I don't think he's got a future at Chelsea. So whoever wants him, pay your 30 million euros and get the job done. Look, I'm going to wrap this video up here. We've gone through the Chelsea news today. It's getting exciting now when we're getting definitives. And look, you can probably tell I'm not that upset about Benjamin Sesko staying at Leipzig because I feel like this is just like Julian Alvarez. Like, it's just going to be waving at us now. Just being like, come and get me. Chelsea, get the job done. Don't mess about. The man is unbelievable. Bring him to London. Let him spend his time with Enzo Fernandez, play PlayStation together. I don't know, bake each other cakes and pizzas. I don't know, build the report. I don't know. I'm on one today, guys. I'm absolutely on one. I'm going to have to go and check what's in this plastic bottle of water. Anyway, smack a like if you enjoyed yourselves. Subscribe if you are new. Thanks for all the love and support. I'll see you tomorrow.